I don't know how long this recording's been going on YouTube, but this is just another bonus recording. Not necessarily an official episode, but I wanted to hop on here and say hey to everyone and say thank you to everyone as usual, because I really do appreciate the support. But in addition to that, I wanted to just, give some updates and let y'all know what's going on. It sort of hit me at about 2 hours ago, maybe 3 hours ago. It sort of hit me like, dang, it's already February of 2026. This first month of the new year just freaking blasted by. Just so fast, and not a lot has happened, but a lot has happened, if that makes any sense. Yeah. So quick rundown here. First off, I'm Ant Pruitt. For those of you that are catching this on a little bonus stream and sharing it out. I'm Ant Pruitt, freelance model, creator, all that good stuff. Thank you for being here. Last time we did a full episode, that was episode 99. And at the end of said episode, I discussed the passing away of Queen Pruitt's mom. Okay, so I don't know if y'all know how long ago that was, but I do. That was in the end of September of 2025, basically. And so for everybody in the Patreon community, that she's been, doing her best to deal with everything that comes along with that territory of losing a parent. So there's all kinds of things that has to happen as far as, just the planning and dealing with the states and so forth. And amongst other things of just living day-to-day life. So I've said over and over in Patreon that she's just pushing along as best she can, because that's all she can do. She's been over there in Carolina for a couple of months now, and just handling all of that she's dealing with. And there's nothing that I could really do other than just show support for her and go from there and hope for the best on everything that works out. I've said before, I have no idea when she's coming back over here to California. And right now I still don't. I could guesstimate, but I don't even want to do that because it's a lot. It's a lot to deal with. And again, she's dealing with things, on a personal and emotional level beyond losing her mother. Some things that I can't relate to. Some things I can relate to, but some things I can't relate to. And so she's just pushing along and trying to handle all of that. And she has said to me recently, to send thanks to all of you in the Patreon community and everyone that's in this community that hangs out and listens to the show and watches the show and what have you. And she says she misses you. And I said, I'll pass that along. So with that said, some updates on other things that have been going on. Mr. John. Oh, I see Tanya Wyman's in the live chat. Hey, Tanya. Good to see you, lady. Mr. John mentions crushing it in modeling roles. I'll get into that in a minute. Thank you, brother. I'm doing the best I can. Let's see. What else been happening? So football season and all of that kept us busy from, with me going out to the junior college and taking pictures and all of that. And then doing the limo runs and stuff, all of that. It was pretty busy. But there was other things going on family wise that I did not discuss. And I'll mention it now. And I will say that everything is, it's going to be all right. I can say that with the utmost confidence because of my faith. Everything is going to be all right. All right. But that doesn't mean it doesn't bother me a little bit. And, it doesn't mean that I didn't have some moments of frustration or what have you. But so we know Queen Pruitt lost her mom. Shortly thereafter, my mother went into the hospital. And she stayed in the hospital for a very long time. She's not in the hospital right now. I'm not going to say where she is, but she's not in the hospital right now. I'm being a little bit cagey because there's been some privacy issues to happen along this time too. But she's doing better. And it was quite a weird holiday season, y'all. We went through, so that was September with Miss Liz passing away. And then my mother went into the hospital in October. So the holiday season was very, very weird. Okay. I did have some good times and good things happen during the holiday season, but still it was pretty weird. Spent my first Thanksgiving damn near by myself. Jake was here, but at the same time, he's a young teenage boy. Well, I don't even think he's 19 anymore. I think he's 20 now. No, he's 19. Shit, I don't know. Either way you get it, he's young. And he ain't gonna sit around here in the house. If he's not in school or in practice or in class or anything like that, he's gonna do his thing. He keeps himself occupied. He keeps himself quite occupied with the church that he attends. And so like I said, Thanksgiving, that was one thing. And then Christmas rolls around. Ideally what happens is the boys come from Oregon down to California and hang out, splitting houses between us and going to his fiance's parents, and then Jacob does what he does or whatever. And so my boy, he did show up from Bend, Oregon on a surprise because I didn't think he was coming because I tried to tell him, dude, you don't need to be spending the money that you don't have, that kind of thing. But it ended up working out to where he was able to come down here with his fiance, and I was able to see them, for a day or so. And I'm grateful for that. I mean, even down to the fact that he made a little prime rib, because that's been pretty much one of my traditions is Christmas time was doing the holiday picture and making prime rib. And this year I got a much smaller prime rib because that's what I could afford at the time. And it made sense because there was nobody here. It's just me and Jake and Biscuit. So it worked out, and we had a good meal, But my son decided he wanted to make one, and he did make it while he was over at his fiance's house or his future in-laws' house. And he brought it over to me, and he did quite well. I was quite proud of old boy. The live chat says, these hard heads, these boys are growing up. Sorry, these hard heads. Yeah, they growing up, man. They growing up, John. And so, yeah, I dealt with that. we dealt with that because, at the same time, Phoebe was over there in Carolina and it wasn't the same. It just, the holiday season just wasn't the same. Thanksgiving was bizarre. Christmas was bizarre for her. Talking to my mom during that time while she was still hospitalized, really bizarre, but we got through it and we're going to continue to get through it. And as I said a few minutes ago, things are going to be all right. They are. Okay. They're going to be all right. And that reminds me, this, just going back to John in the chat talking about the modeling stuff. During that time, fortunately, I still had a few gigs booked. It was great. And I'm so grateful because I needed them. They wasn't like the best paying, but they got me through. They got us through. And dude, just grateful. And it ranged from doing a shoot as background and doing a shoot as a spokesperson. And I'm trying to remember, what else did I do? Y'all heard about the one in LA. Yeah, y'all heard about that one. But it was quite a bit going on, and I'm grateful. And then even Jake was able to get on set as background for one of these things. And I think I told y'all about that. But why can't I find that one? There's one in here. I'm going to show you the audition. I try to keep my auditions so I can learn from them, okay? Because most of the auditions you do a self-tape, okay? But why can't I find it? Oh, crap. There they are. Now they are. Okay, so this one is... It was for this one. All right, so let me see if I could pull this up on the screen some kind of way. So let me move this over here like that. And we'll just hit play. There we go. All right. I don't know if y'all can hear that or not. Let me see if y'all can hear this. Boom, boom, boom. And now I'll show the screen. No. I want that one. There we go. Aunt Pruitt. That holiday tradition is so since all of my, just me and my tradition to 5 or started to change. So my favorite holiday tradition that has started to change within the last 5 or 6 years or so since moving to California from Carolina. All of my family is back in Carolina. So right now it's just me and my kids and my better half. And the tradition that I enjoy now, and particularly on Christmas, is making prime rib for my family. They seem to get a kick out of it. I get a kick out of it because I love beef. But what I'm really digging now is my oldest son is starting to ask more questions about the process. What kind of meat to get, how to season it, how to cook it, how to cut it. And it warms my heart to know that he's thinking about this for down the road, long term, when he starts his own family. So, that's my favorite tradition going forward. So that one, that audition, they basically just wanted to do a personality check, and they asked my favorite tradition. So I shared said favorite tradition, and it really just sort of hit home because I recorded that. I don't know how long ago. That was probably recorded in October or something like that. And then for Christmas to come around and it to play out exactly as I mentioned it in that video, man, it was pretty freaking cool. Oh, audio was low. I'm sorry. I'll fix that for next time in case I play something else. So, but anyway, that's part of it. Like I said, I've been shooting some stuff. Got Jake involved on one because he wasn't doing nothing. And the last week and the week before, I had a shoot. I'm grateful for those. There's two different things. And if you're a Patreon member, you'll know because I share some of the audition stuff in there. Just so y'all can see what it's like or what have you for one of the things that I booked. And one of these things that I booked, I had to do like 3 or 4 different variations of the audition, So what happened was I did my audition. No, I submitted for it. They reached out to me and say, hey, can you do this quick audition? So I record the audition. I send it off. And that's the thing. You just sort of sit and wait. It could be a week. It could be a day, however long it needs. And they got back to me and they said, hey, we're digging this one. So let's set up a meeting over Zoom. And that usually means they want to talk to you live on camera. And again, just get a bit of a personality check and see how you'll be on set, because if they can't click with you, they can't click with you. So, and all of that went well. And then he says, okay, can we do another read real quick? And I said, well, sure. And at the time I didn't have my desk situated the way I have it situated now. And I said, yeah, I can, but just know my camera is not the same. And they were like, yeah, that's fine. Just act it out. We can see enough. And so I acted it out and it was like, this is great. We'll get back in touch with you, yada, yada, yada. Get off the Zoom, and it wasn't an hour later, they got back in touch with me. They said, hey, do this read this way, and then do this read that way. And then it was literally like 3 or 4 different takes. And so I set up my typical self-tape audition studio over there in the living room, knocked them out, sent them on. And they hit me back and said, hey, this role is yours. We'll see you on such and such day. Cool. Thank you. And it just made me laugh because I'm looking at the script and the script reads in to me, it reads in a bit of a more inspirational tone. Like someone doing woodworking. I'm trying not to say exactly what the thing is about, but think about watching a commercial and you just see somebody doing woodworking and whittling away on something or whatever, just that type of stuff has a certain mood, and so the script sort of reminded me of that, but I read it those various ways, and it sort of felt weird because of my own assumptions about the script. But hey, it's not my project. Just do what the director asks. That's how that goes. And so I went to the shoot, and the shoot happened exactly the way those auditions went. We did multiple takes. We did multiple versions of those takes. It was a long day. It was a long day. Not to mention I had a whole lot of sitting around too. Because for this commercial, it is a commercial. I'm going to say that. Yeah, I can say that. It is a commercial. It is a local commercial. I don't know. This actually may go nationwide. It's a local company. Yeah, I think commercial will only be local, but their social media, of course, is nationwide, worldwide. But anyway, I'm doing this. I'm sitting in there, and it was a long day, and I'm the only talent there. And the rest of the shoot was basically just getting a lot of different B-roll and stuff like that. Getting B-roll of me walking, getting B-roll of my hands doing this or that or whatever. B-roll of me just staring at the camera. It was a lot of footage, and it's going to be freaking beautiful. The director, I've seen some of his work before. He actually did some stuff with University of Oregon football. over the last couple of years. So I mean, he's been busy. He's pretty freaking good. So I'm looking forward to that. We'll see if that comes out. John Helm. What did you say? John Helm says Bob Ross. Yeah, it was, again, that script is sort of read like something like a Bob Ross singing. Yeah, that's how the script read to me. But it's we did it in a bunch of different ways. And I'm sorry if I'm rambling. But yeah, that's that. And just before I got on here, I got a message that I've booked another gig, and to God be the glory on that. I'm so grateful. They'll give me the details later on today, as far as when the shoot is. I know it's local, but I'm really excited to get that. Thank you, Lord, for that. So we're just trying to continue with this momentum and keep it rolling and growing, you know. So that's the bit of the update. Before I get out of here, I wanted to ask y'all about these couple things that's been in my head, because when I wasn't worrying about auditions and worrying about stuff going on with my family, I'm either on the job boards trying to find roles, or I've been watching a lot of television, a lot more television than usual. I started watching Downton Abbey. Never in the world thought I'd watch that dadgum series. And I got to tell you, I like it. I've been watching Downton Abbey. I've been watching Entourage as usual. I watch a lot of rerun stuff. Entourage, King of the Hill, Ted Lasso, that kind of thing. And I tried to watch some movies here and there, and some of the stuff that Joe Esposito would recommend, I try to find it and watch it. And then do my stuff for social media, my stuff that I got to put out for social media, because as a matter of fact, that's how I got that gig. That part of it was background check and my social media check. And they said, I'm good to go. So, but anyway, what I was seeing on social media, there's this post here from Matt Damon. Can you see my screen? Yeah. Matt Damon says, this is via Cinema Shorts, IG, whatever that is. Matt Damon says Netflix wants movies to restate the plot 3 or 4 times in the dialogue because viewers are on their phones while they're watching. I saw that, and I don't know if it's real or not. I'm going to assume it is. I'm going to assume it's real just because of the way some of the things I've watched recently, the way they are presented, you know. It almost seems like it's dumbed down a bit. What do you think? Have y'all noticed anything like that? Are you the type of people to be on your phone while you're watching stuff? I'm semi like that. It depends on the time of day. If I'm in the middle of the day and I'm deciding to, you know what, Matt Damon's got a new movie out, let me check it out while I'm sitting at home on my couch at the laptop or whatever. Yeah, I'll pick up my phone while watching that because I'm technically still working, you know, so I won't put my phone down. I'll check it here and there, you know. But if it's something like at the end of the day, the weekend, and I'm chilling, there's a lot of times I don't even know where my dadgum phone is. Have no idea. Most of the time it's on silent. So I get so many missed phone calls. No idea. John Helm says Hijacked in the chat. Hijacked 2. Yeah, I want to watch that. I remember watching the first one. It was pretty good. So I'm going to watch this next one too with Idris Elba. But yeah, this I thought that was fascinating that Netflix is they're dialed in like that. You know, they're trying to do what they can to make sure they're getting the eyeballs maximized on this stuff. And it reads here, Damon explained that this shift is a direct response to modern home viewing habits, specifically the high number of viewers who use their smartphones while watching. He noted that whereas a theater experience is like, quote, going to church, where you show up at an appointed time and pay full attention, home viewing has a, quote, very different level of attention. It makes sense, right? I guess, because I don't know. I've seen a lot of people on the daggum phones in theaters over the years. I say over the years because I don't go very often. And I know that just drives my friend Liana crazy. I love you, friend. But there's that one. And then there's this thing from Ben Affleck or Ben Affleck. I don't know how you say that guy's name. I've heard it pronounced 4 different ways and it's 2 syllables. I don't know. But here he's basically talking about Netflix, the movie they have on Netflix with Matt Damon, and they boosted the deal for the pay for film crews. And again, I can't trust everything I see on these internets, especially with AI video and deepfakes and all of that. So I checked around and found this on people.com. Ben Affleck, Matt Damon struck a deal with Netflix to boost pay for the Rips crew. And they quote, "Everybody is vital." And basically what this says is if the movie does well, there's a bonus structure. And I guess ideally the bonus structure never went to any of the crew. It just went to the people above the line. Right? That's what I'm assuming. They were saying, no, we want it to go to everybody. We want the crew to get paid and so on and so forth. And I thought that was quite admirable because a lot of corporate America, the people that make all of the money is the leadership, the people that are doing all of the heavy lifting, if you will, when it comes to the work. They don't get a lot of money. They get bonuses here and there, but not like these people that are in the C-suites, in the upper levels and so forth. But I don't know. I thought that was a good idea. Let me know your thoughts on that. And one last thing before we get out. Since I know most of my community is Gen X, just like me. Again, my good old YouTube keep giving me great videos to watch. And this one is the psychology of people who rewatch TV shows. I won't play the full thing here.
You've watched the Harry Potter series 17 times. Friends, 23. You've seen The Office so many times you know exactly when Jim's going to look at the camera. And somehow, you're about to press play on Season 1, Episode 1 again. Your partner thinks you're insane. Your Netflix algorithm has given up trying to recommend new things. Your kids are begging you to watch something made this decade.
Not doing it.
But here's what's actually happening in your brain that makes you choose Jim and Pam over literally thousands of new shows.
Yep.
And no, you're not stuck in the past.
Nope.
You're actually onto something. Let's start with the obvious question.
Yeah, that thing is such a good video. I'll put a link to it and the little description or whatever. But it's a good video, and it made me laugh out loud several times because they hit on a bunch of points that like struck a personal nerve with me. Because again, I just told you a few minutes ago, I've been watching Entourage. I've been watching Ted Lasso and other stuff, just straight up reruns. And what's this John say in the chat? You still watch your dude making food in the European mountains? Yeah, I still watch him too. What is his name? Crap. But this guy, he does he's cooking, and it's like ASMR. He doesn't say a word the whole time, and everything comes off as so freaking organic. Why I can't find him in here now. I can't think of his name, but it's somewhere. I think it's in Azerbaijan. I believe that's how you say it in Europe. But it's a freaking great channel, and it's just delicious looking food. I freaking love it. But yeah, getting back to that other video, it nailed it, because that's me. It's comforting to watch those reruns, even though I know the lines. I started watching Veep again because nowadays, at least for the last 2 weeks or so, when I pick up my phone, it's forcing the news at me, like all of the stuff that's going on in the U.S. about ICE, and that shit sucks. But man, I don't want to see it anymore. I'm done. I don't want to see it. My 3 feet of space, I'm trying to keep it clean and peaceful. Got enough shit going on. I don't need my phone feeding me that stuff. So I decided I'm going to turn on Veep again. If we're going to be talking about government, I wanted to watch Veep and laugh. And I freaking love that show. I love it. She was Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Yeah, she's great in that show. But anyway, let me know your thoughts. That's all I got for now. I will sit and wait on this follow-up email for this booking. And again, I am really grateful. And thank you all for hanging with me and rolling with us. You know, it's been a interesting 4 months now, going into February, but we're going to be all right. And when I know more, I'll share more to an extent. You know, it's like I said, my mom, I didn't want to talk about that because I just didn't want to bring it up. Wasn't comfortable with it. And yeah. But other than that, just keep checking us out in the Patreon community. For those of you that aren't in there already, it is as easy as going to patreon.com/AntPruitt. And we have funny conversations, including today's thread, where I started the thread 2-2-2026, and my brain immediately went to this weird ass song, Denise LaSalle, "Don't Mess With My Tutu." I have no idea why my brain saw that, but it did. Does this song make any sense to anybody? All right, that's enough of that. Lord, man. Tanya in the chat says, all the best to you, Phoebe, and your families. Thank you, Miss Tanya. We appreciate you. Yeah, as soon as I know more, I'll share more that I feel comfortable sharing. That's the caveat. And until then, y'all keep doing your thing out there and keep trying to be the light as we need it. You know, be the light. There's so much crazy shit happening. Speaking from the U.S. perspective. Whew, lots of foolishness, man. And a lot of people hurting. A lot of people just confused, and a lot of people that are flat out in fear and afraid. And if you get the opportunity to be the light for someone, please do. And again, it's as easy as just opening your ear up and listening. You never know how helpful that can be. And John says it best right there in the chat. Love you, some you. Keep loving you, some you, my man. That's right. All right, folks. I will catch y'all next time. Take care.